So friends, we have seen practice areas up to process management, PCM. Next is very straightforward process quality assurance called PQA, where it will ensure that audits on the processes and work products are being done in the organization at the project level, at the deliverable level, at the program level, and like that. So here the objective evaluation will be done. So it says that identify and address the processes and work product related issues. It helps in increasing the customer satisfaction through the improved quality and performance. It 2.1 talks about develop, keep updated, and follow a quality assurance approach and the plan based on the historical quality data. It helps in reducing the cost and increases the quality by focusing more on the recurring problem areas. So, new process, in depth evaluation, observation, audit, everything will be done. 2.2 says throughout the project, objectively evaluate selected performed processes and work product against the recorded process and applicable standard. It helps in delivering the high quality solutions by identifying and addressing the issues throughout the project execution. So here the formal audit will be done based on the organizational guidelines, all these things, desk audit, process audit, product audit, peer audit, using some checklist, and as a part of output we will have the non-compliance report and improvement proposal. Once the audit is being done, then we need to communicate the results, audit results to the relevant stakeholder and ensure that non-compliance are being addressed, those are being resolved, and C's or non-compliance get closed. 2.4 talks about the record and use the results of quality assurance activity. So here we need to prepare the report, quality trend, and all these things. 3.1 talks about identify and record the opportunities for improvement during the quality assurance activities, is identifying the more efficient and effective ways to perform the work product and improve the capability of the organization. So here the focus was on the process audit, on the product audit, and as an outcome we get the improvement proposal or suggestion so that further improvement in the system can be done. Product integration, it helps in delivering and in the solution that address the functional requirement, quality requirement, and it increases the customer satisfaction by giving them a solution that meets and exceeds their functionality and quality requirement. So product integration, more of a technical. So integration strategy, integration environment, integration procedure, criteria, everything will be defined. Here we assemble the solution, deliver it to customer. Okay, in terms of some deliverable or source code and all this will be done. 2.1 talks about develop and keep updated and follow integration strategy. So any integration we are going to do some integration strategy, we have to follow incremental approach, big bang approach, top down approach, bottom up approach, all these things. Then integration environment has to be created, test tool and equipment has to be provided, criteria, all these things has to be done. Integration strategy include the solution and components will be integrated and evaluated, and interface testing will be done through modeling, prototyping, simulation, and all these things will be done. 2.2 talks about develop, keep updated, and use the integrated environment. It provides an effective risk mitigation technique to ensure that solution and components are integrated correctly. So here the work environment, integration environment is being provided, planning will be done, verification, validation will be done. V&V activity, we need to verify and validate the integration environment. Accordingly, that product integration will be done. 2.3 talks about develop, keep updated and follow procedure and criteria for integrating solution and the component. So here we need to define on the basis of functionality, on the basis of quality attributes, how we are going to conduct the integration, product integration. So outcome would be the product integration procedure, product integration criteria. 2.4 talks about confirm prior to integration that each component has been properly identified and operates according to its requirements and design. So here also every component we need to do the validation and we need to ensure that it is working properly before the final integration will be done. 2.5 talks about evaluate the integrated components to ensure that conformance to solutions requirements. So after component level verification, then the integration will be done and the complete integrated product will be tested, verified, validated using a predefined set of procedures and guidelines, and test report will be submitted. 2.6 is integrate solution and components according to the integration strategy. You see, we have seen the integration strategy, top down approach, bottom up approach, big bang approach. As per that, the complete integration will be done whatever integration strategies we have defined. 3.1 is review, keep updated interfaces or connection description for the coverage, completeness and consistency throughout the solution's life. So here we need to ensure the coverage, completeness, consistency, and in that we need to ensure that validation is being done, verification is being done under the operating environment. So there is an outcome as a report. We get the interface connection review result, list of action items for updating interfaces and connection, and updated interface and connection description. 3.2 confirm prior to integration that the component interfaces or connection comply with the interfaces. Everything will be done. 3.2 talks about reduces the amount of rework due to interfaces and connection compatibility. Okay. 3.3 evaluate integrated component for interfaces or connection compatibility, reduce the risk of interface connection failure within the integrated component. So here the focus remains on the alignment with the specification, functionality, reliability, integration procedure, criteria, and all these things. So this was all about the product integration PI. And now we have the requirement development and management called RDM. So here focus remains on collection of the requirement, ensuring the common understanding by the stakeholder and alignment of the requirement plan and the work product. There are practice areas up to level 3, so I'll just scan through quickly. Gathering the requirement, identification of the requirement, classification of the requirement, verification, validation of the requirement. So requirement will be recorded, stakeholder expectations are being collected, addressed, various scenarios are being developed through various methods, transformed by stakeholder needs, expectation and constant interfaces to the customer requirements. Then various methods are being used for collection of the requirement, acceptance criteria, safety, security, everything will be done. Okay. So here there's an output. We are getting the prioritized customer requirement, customer constraint, design, the verification, validation criteria. 2.3 is develop the understanding with the requirement provider. The requirement provider could be your users, your customers, all these things. So here we will involve them. We will get more input from them so that we have the clear and properly stated, complete and consistent, unique requirement which are testable, traceable to the source and achievable also, and tied to the business value, business objective. 2.1 talks about obtain commitment from the project participant that they can implement the requirement, ensure commitments are well understood to minimize the delay and rework. So we get input from the relevant stakeholder, we negotiate commitment with them, we get the sign off or email acknowledgement from the relevant stakeholders. 2.5 talks about the maintaining the bidirectional traceability from the requirement to all the stages and the other side also. So traceability will ensure that all the requirements are being covered in design and tested and delivered. 2.6 ensure that plans and activities of our product remain consistent with the requirement. So here also we ensure that we minimize the rework by eliminating inconsistencies between the requirements and the related artifacts. 3.1 talks about develop and keep requirements updated for the solution and its component. It ensures that built solution in fact meet the customer needs expectations in the consistent way across the organization. 3.2 develop the operational concept and scenario which enables the customer to understand, confirm and commit to how their requirements will be met. So here operational scenario will be defined, then we need to ensure that all the operational concept and scenarios are being met. 3.3 is allocate the requirements to be implemented. It increases the customer satisfaction by delivering the complete solution that meets the requirement. So here we work on the component interfaces and all those things, and requirements are being allocated to multiple components and parts and ensuring that it's being implemented. 3.4 talks about identify, develop and keep updated interfaces and connection requirements. 3.5 ensure the requirements are necessary and sufficient and avoid rework on by only delivering the necessary solutions. So we need to ensure the consistency. We need to ensure that all the requirements are there, all the feasible requirements are there, there is no conflict, everything is being maintained, and requirement analysis results will be delivered here. Requirement defects will be reviewed and updated requirement will be shared. 3.6 talks about balancing of the stakeholder needs and constraint. It increases the customer or stakeholder satisfaction while addressing the conflicting requirements and the constraints. So here prioritization of the requirement will be done. 3.7 talks about validation of the requirement through simulation, prototyping, testing, reviews, walkthrough, and all these things. Next practice area is risk and opportunity management, very straightforward. So here we need to identify, record, analyze and manage the potential risk that will help us to mitigate the adverse impact or capitalize on the positive impact to increase the likelihood of meeting the business objective. So we have to have the risk and opportunity management system in place. All the risk will be identified, opportunity will be identified. We have to have the risk mitigation contingency plan in place. So we identify the risk, we identify the risk and opportunities through some assessment, brainstorming, structured interview, FMEA, SWOT analysis. We review the work breakdown structure, we do the assessment, we do the check, we monitor the identify the risk and opportunity and communicate the status to the relevant stakeholder that enables the timely corrective action, leveraging the actions to maximize the likelihood of achieving the objectives. So risk and opportunity continuous monitoring tracking will be done. 3.1 identify the risk and opportunities categories or different categories we'll put as per that work activities will be planned, type of processes, regulation, laws, everything will be done. So as an output we get the category list and categorized risk and opportunities. 3.2 talks about define and use the parameters for risk and opportunity analysis handling. Here we identify the high priority risk and opportunity and maximizes the likelihood of cost, efficiency, and achieving the business objective. 3.3 talks about develop and keep updated risk and opportunity management strategy. So we have to have that mitigation plan, contingency plan, what strategy we are going to use. Either we are going to accept the risk, we are going to transfer the risk, we are going to control the risk. 3.4 talks about develop and keep updated risk or opportunity management plan. So as we have talked, how we are going to handle and mitigate the risk by avoiding, controlling, transferring, all these things will be done as a part of this practice under the risk management practice area. So we will have the mitigation and contingency opportunity leveraging plan, and we have the updated plan and status. 3.5 talks about managing the risk and opportunities by implementing the planned risk and opportunity management. Effective risk management reduces the unforeseen occurrences that impact ability to achieve the objective and increases the business value by leveraging the opportunity. So we have covered up to risk management. One more we'll cover, and then I'll move on, pause, and then make the next video. Suppliers are the key part of our software development, system development ecosystem. It helps in establish an agreement with the selected supplier and ensure that suppliers and the acquirers perform according to the terms over the course of the agreement and evaluate the supplier's deliverables. It provides an explicit understanding between the acquirer and the supplier to maximize the success of agreed on efforts to deliver a supplier deliverable. These are the practice area where supplier management, we develop and record the supplier agreement that will increase the likelihood of meeting the requirements while using the supplier. We sign the contract, we sign the SLA, service level agreement, we sign the memorandum of understanding, letter of understanding, service agreement, subcontract agreement, terms and conditions, work, statement of work, term, list of deliverables, budget, regulatory requirement, legal requirement. 1.2 accept or reject the supplier deliverables. So we will conduct the review and ensure that it is in line with the scope which is being shared with the supplier. Then we process the supplier invoice. So we have to make the payment. Now we have to process their invoice, whatever work they have done. 2.1 talks about monitor the supplier as specified in the supplier agreement and keep agreement updated. It improves the likelihood that supplier provide the right supplier deliverable. So through the agreement, we ensure that whatever work is being outsourced, it's being done by the supplier as per the terms and condition. 2.2 perform the activities as specified in the supplier agreement. Management improves the acquirer's confidence in the ability of the supplier to deliver the right supplier deliverables within the right quantity. So here we conduct the review, ensuring that affected stakeholders participate in the review. Then we conduct the review, ensure that whatever deliverables we have received, we have reviewed it, we checked it, and we provide the feedback as per the contractual requirement. Technical reviews are being conducted, then the give feedback to the supplier, then critical dependency, risk, budget, compliance, everything is being checked. Okay. 3 2.3 verify that supplier agreement is satisfied. So whatever agreement we have with the supplier, we are satisfied before accepting the acquired supplier deliverable. And how it helps in decreasing the risk of accepting a unsatisfactory supplier deliverables and ensure that supplier agreement is satisfied before the acceptance. Test results, review results, all these things will be maintained as a part of this procedure. 2.4 talks about manage the invoices submitted by the supplier according to the supplier agreement. It helps in maintaining a good business relation between the supplier and the company. So invoice will be raised, payment will be done. 3.1 select the technical supplier deliverables for analysis and conduct the technical review. So here the review will be conducted, review findings will be shared with the supplier, and then focus remains on the key parameters of the product, right? Performance, recovery, safety, security, MTBF, MTTF, maintainability, and all these things will be checked. Evaluation, everything, all the detailed evaluation of the product will be done by the company, whatever supply you have received from the supplier. 3.2 talks about select and monitor the supplier processes deliverable based on the criteria in the supplier agreement. It provides the better visibility into the supplier capability and performance to minimize the risk. So here discrepancy report, action item, risk, record analysis, everything will be done. Practice area at level 4, 4.1, select the measure and apply the analytical techniques to quantitatively manage the supplier performance to achieve the quality and performance objective. It focuses on the measurement and management attention and activities to more effectively meet the performance objectives. So here the some statistical quantitative techniques, so continuous monitoring, tracking will be done, performance measurement of the supplier will be done of the selected measure, and those measures may include that operational definition, statistical techniques will be used, processing data, and everything will be done.